The midwife tends to see them first day home, and then before they leave, they'll plan the next visit with them each time, so the parents are aware of when they're getting a visit. Health visitor takes over from the midwife and is usually there by about 2 weeks post-birth, but they will write them a letter with the time and date that she's coming to see them. It's important for women to follow up with their GP after they've had a baby. And the baby will have a GP checkup similar to the one that they had in hospital at 6 to 8 weeks of birth. But it's also key for the women to have a conversation with either GP or family planning clinic about contraception, because the body's ready to conceive the next pregnancy in some women as early as 3 weeks following the birth. But it is important to tell them if they're breastfeeding or giving their breast milk, because there's certain things that they can't use when they're doing so. They need to register the baby's birth to get the birth certificate. On one of the leaflets there's a contact number. They ring that number and they receive the certificate at the appointment. But they do need to do that within 6 weeks. We do give them the appropriate information depending on their feeding choice, and helps them, again, support, contact numbers, tips, hints how to do it if they're struggling, and there's always the midwife if there's any problems. They'll go home with a new white book. They have a white book in pregnancy. They'll have a new one to go home with, which the midwife will need when she visits, and she'll write in there with each visit. So we send them home with lots of information just to make these early days enjoyable for them with their new baby, and it's just so they've got points of reference if there's any questions or worries. We do also highlight that on the front of their white book there is a contact number. They can get hold of the midwife 24 hours a day on that number, so if there's ever any worries, any concerns, there's always somebody at the end of the phone.